Welcome, foolish creatures, to another episode from Fright Chasers. You'll hear spooky calls from our haunted hotline, stories plucked from another dimension with tales from the beyond, oddities galore in news from the beyond, and haunting interviews with your ghost host, Woody G. Watts. Welcome to the Fright Chasers.
This is Woody G. Watts with Fright Chasers with another news from the beyond for this week of August the 8th. This will probably go out midweek, so August the 9th, 10th, 11th-ish. I've got quite a lot to cover in today's news from the beyond, I gotta admit, and it's gonna be all over the place. But I think you're gonna be, pleased because I'm all over the board with this one, and I'm quite happy. First of all, let me give you a quick update on what we've been working on this week, and it's some funny, cool stuff. Odd stuff too that happened to me, and then we'll get to some of the biggest headlines that have caught my attention that are really not reported on. First of all, my marketing company was part of a marketing campaign, or we helped with the design, the graphic design and concept of a campaign for an app for the town that I have my studio in, Bedford, Virginia, town of Bedford. And the economic development office was so nice and just so open to ideas that they let me put Bigfoot on the billboard, Bigfoot in the social media ads, and Bigfoot is going to be on the news for the promotion of the app. So I have a picture of the graphic on frightchasers.com. If you click on news from the beyond, you'll see it. This is the Bigfoot costume that I own that's in my closet. I'm looking at it right now. And it's my wife in the costume, funny enough. But they let me put Bigfoot as the spokesperson of this app and the tourism and everything. And I just think that is so amazingly awesome. Okay. So that's part one of the story. Go there, see the graphic. It's a great costume, by the way. It's very hot to wear. No joke. But the other part of this, okay, so we designed this ad and the billboard went fine. The social media was going okay, but then Facebook actually denied the ad from the actual app company. So the app company had to get involved with Meta, not Facebook, it was Meta, and argue the case to use Bigfoot. And I'm going to read you part of the conversation here. So Facebook was arguing that, here is the kind of generic response that Facebook gave the app people for denying the ad. They said, you choose ad creative that's not using misleading pictures like a person, but look like a person. And they highly recommend use a different link. So they were saying that Bigfoot is an actual person. Okay. And here's their response. Running misleading ads. Ads must not promote products, services, schemes, or offers using deceptive or misleading practices. So we literally had to put a disclaimer on the bottom of the social media ad of Bigfoot that was saying that Bigfoot is not real. And I cannot tell you how hard that was to type on my part. That was very, very difficult. I'm not going to lie, because I do believe he's real. And it just goes to show you how kind of crazy it can be. I mean, obviously it was like a robot reviewing the ads at first, but then they actually got on the phone with him and they actually had a conversation that was recorded. So it is literally a recorded conversation somewhere in the Facebook archive office for quality control that is arguing if Bigfoot is real. And they were saying that we were misleading people. So funny story number one. All right. That leads me to not funny, but another Bigfoot story that happened right after that. So as you can probably guess, when the billboard went up, Bigfoot talk kind of grew, right? So it went up last week, late last week. So a lot of people started bringing up Bigfoot. they were bringing up Bigfoot to me. They were seeing it on social media and all over the place. So it's just you just hearing Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Bigfoot, Bigfoot. Well, we produce another podcast at the studio for a local organization, a nonprofit, and one of the ladies that works for that organization used to be a news anchor, and she did a story a while back, and I actually have the story now, and that it resurfaced after this Bigfoot campaign kind of came out. So it was sent to me, and I have it on the website again, frightchasers.com. Go to News from the Beyond. You can see this news story. I'm going to play the audio for you now. Okay. This happened a couple years ago, and I remember when it happened. Like I remember actually watching the news and seeing this story. And I remember then, like, I want to find out who it was, and I've yet to find out who it is. However, I have a new contact that is efforting finding this person, and I know the location. However, I would like to actually talk to the person themselves that made this call. So I'm going to play the audio, and you can see the video on the website again, but listen to this news story from a few years ago.
He's a legend, most say a myth, and people hunt for him on reality TV. But a Bedford County woman now says her story is no joke. She called the sheriff's office about Bigfoot. Yes, you heard that right. And Angela Hatcher is here to tell us more about this one.
Well, Danner, I did talk with a woman on the phone today. I couldn't convince her to do an interview. She said she just moved to the area and she doesn't want to get a certain reputation with her neighbors. But she does want to warn them. She told the dispatcher she's now thinking about moving back.
I know this is going to sound crazy.
Dispatchers could tell you callers never just stop right there, and the stories sometimes seem unbelievable. Let's listen to the rest.
I know this is going to sound crazy, but I went back and checked, and there were prints of Bigfoot with a baby.
There were what?
It was a Bigfoot with a baby.
After assuring the dispatcher she hadn't been drinking, the woman offers no explanation why she waited 2 days to call. She said she was driving up Route 43 toward the Peaks of Otter last Wednesday. It was 20 minutes till midnight when she says her headlights hit something strange past Turkey Mountain Road just before you come to the first bridge. She says she went back in daylight.
And I did see some footprints. And the stride was longer than anything I could make.
The woman says the creature's footprint was bigger than her 2 feet together end to end, and she wears a size 8. She says it was holding her baby the way a human would, but says that baby had a face only a mother could love.
And the baby was looking right at me.
And she says it looked just like Chewbacca from Star Wars. Could something that appears like it's from out of this world actually exist right here at home?
Have you ever gotten other reports like this?
I've never had a call like this in my life.
All right, he's been a dispatcher for 10 years, and Danner, a deputy, did drive out there to 43, check things out, didn't see a thing. But again, she did call 2 days after she claims that she saw those creatures, and she tells me that she knows that they weren't bears. I grew up in that area, and that's pretty common, but she says they weren't bears, and we do have a call into a state biologist to see if he can explain what she may have seen.
So we might have Bigfoot Gate on our hands.
Apparently.
Let us know what you find out.
All right.
Right? How interesting is that? Okay, so I'm efforting it. I will keep you updated. Last bit of actual happenings with Fright Chasers, Thrashers Like Entertainment, and myself. I did a interview for an awesome podcast called Unbridled Minds this past week, and we talked all things, of course, Bigfoot, paranormal experiences, and just everything that kind of falls under the odd, unexplained sun. And we talked a lot of conspiracy theories too, a lot about actually why conspiracy theories may exist, and some of my thoughts on how you should question everything, and how this is the time to question, and how podcasts are so relevant right now. So I have that as well on the News from the Beyond. I have that interview from his podcast, Unbridled Minds. I have that embedded on there. So play it, give him a download, subscribe. It was an amazing conversation. I love chatting. I love chatting with people that have an open mind and that want to chat and kind of want to share experiences. That's the whole reason I even started this podcast and started Fright Chasers. So I loved doing that interview. So I would encourage you to give it a listen. It's a good podcast too. So subscribe. And it's been a busy week for myself, Fright Chasers and Thrasher's Lake. We're steadily getting ready for the slasher weekend in October. We've had a bunch of props and additional camera equipment. We've kind of got the set where we're going to film the vignettes like I talked a couple of episodes ago. You'll see updates on that. But again, go to Fright Chasers on social media, the website. I've got all that on there. If you're kind of lost and you're like, what is he talking about? We just have some cool stuff. And visit thrasherslake.com. You'll see a trailer for the event we're putting on. And you're going to see some regular faces in the videos from Fright Chasers. You might even see Bigfoot again. Honestly, he's like riding a wave right now in our town. So, and I almost forgot last thing. So this episode will come out before this happens. So I'll talk about it in the next episode. But this week, the news is coming and we're going to actually do a news story. And I have booked Bigfoot to be in the background of this news story while they're talking about the app. So that is how cool our local news organization is, and the host, where they are literally up for anything. And they were like, yes, let's do it. Let's put him in there. He's a star. He deserves to be seen. So it's been a Bigfoot week, been a fun week, but some odd headlines that I've seen that have been underreported in my opinion. And here is some news from the beyond. Our first story is what's on the mountain. A giant figure was filmed on top of a mountain. And this is such an interesting chain of events and videos strung together. And I have that video embedded on this news page. So I encourage you to go take a look because it's almost like a mini movie, to be honest with you. Just not only the footage, but what happened to the guy after he filmed and the whole area. But I'm going to read the story to you. I just finished watching the footage. I'm telling you, it'll send chills up your spine, up your arms, up your neck, everything. Go look at the footage, and I would love to hear what you think this is. But video footage of what appears to be an enormous figure standing atop a mountain was captured by a Canadian who claims he was targeted by the CIA as a result in the province of Alberta. Andrew Dawson and a friend were driving to work earlier this year when the strange incident occurred. While driving off in the distance, he noticed something unusual protruding from the massive mountain Whistler's Peak. In response to his friend's question, Dawson replied with astonishment, "It's a person," while filming the puzzling oddity. It is clear from Dawson's video that an inexplicably large figure appears on top of the mountain. Despite his companion's skepticism, after the video was posted to TikTok, over 2 million views poured in as the young man attempted to figure out the mysterious figure, which some suspected was a Sasquatch. The following several weeks, Dawson shared updates on the mysterious case, which can be seen in the video on the page. Go watch it, including a return to the mountain to show that the figure had mysteriously disappeared. As Dawson investigated the sighting, he began to grow increasingly suspicious that he had been inadvertently discovered something unauthorized. An authority figure informs him grotesquely that the area is closed to the public in a subsequent video of him going back to the mountain. In a very nerve-wracking moment, the young man began believing he was being followed by what he claimed was the CIA, and Dawson provided yet another update with the claim that all of his videos were a hoax and strictly for entertainment, as he looked nervously off camera as though someone was watching him. As one might expect, Dawson's peculiar pivot sparked considerable speculation, with many wondering whether his confession was true or if it was forced to make it up. There have been suggestions that the young man's original giant video was genuine. He either raised the air of the proverbial powers that be, or he was so paranoid that he believed this was the case. In the meantime, those who are skeptical have argued the entire story is a fabrication, serialized for weeks on TikTok to keep viewers engaged. Well, if it is, honestly, well done, Andrew, because you just made basically a TV series on TikTok, and it's awesome. But honestly, if you look at it and if it's not edited, it is pretty chilling. And this does make complete sense that he would film something, go back to the site, be seen, have posted the video on TikTok, and then all of a sudden be followed by the CIA and be told to say it was a hoax. That makes more sense to me. That to me is actually what happened. I don't think it could. It may be a hoax, but I don't know. what does that tell you about today, where it is more believable that Andrew saw this figure and then was persuaded to lie about it than people believe that it was actually a figure recorded? Crazy, right? Another story, ghost cat. Okay, this one, okay, I just watched this video again before recording this, and I'm telling you, I know some trickery can be made with lights, and if you watch this late at night, it'll get you. This spooky footage shows what appears to be a ghost cat scurrying across the porch before vanishing into thin air. It is reported that the eerie video was captured last month at the residence of Laura and Justin Harrington. They were surprised to see a transparent shape of a cat walking across their deck after being alerted by their security system. As the animal crossed the porch, their bewilderment grew as they observed it dematerializing. According to Laura, the creature seen in the video is an apparition. However, not everyone believes it to be a ghost cat. A skeptic might suggest that the spirit is simply a normal cat that appears ghostly because of some kind of computer camera glitch. How do you feel about this chilling footage? Is it aberration, merely a misidentification, or was it an otherworldly feline seen in the Harrington home? Okay, so you watch it. Tell me what you think. The video's on there. Now, I will say this, okay? I know these cameras, I mean, they're just getting better and better. These Ring doorbells and these cameras, they're getting like clear. And this is not a bad resolution video. I don't know. It just depends on how you feel about cats and pets being ghosts, but it's pretty, just watch the footage late at night though with some eerie music playing. I promise you it'll be worth it. And our last odd story, an odd sphere was found. A mysterious metal sphere has been reported to have fallen from the sky in Mexico and has since been spirited away by authorities. A puzzling orb was photographed atop vegetation by prominent weather personality. Oh my goodness, y'all, this pronunciation, I'm going to murder this, and I'm so sorry, sir. I'm going to call him Luna, and if you go to the website, you can see his name, and just know that I don't want him to be insulted by my pronunciation. So, weather personality, Luna, on a Sunday night, the meteorologist informed his followers that the curious object had plummeted from the sky and landed atop a tree in Veracruz. A witness to the sphere's descent said it made a sound, but did not display any fiery characteristics. Can't read my own writing, y'all. Luna observed that the sphere resembles a piece of Chinese rocket and speculated that it was made of a hard plastic or alloy. The meteorologist cautioned the public not to touch the object because it could be radioactive, and asked the Mexican government to send a specialized team to retrieve it, theorizing that the sphere had a timing mechanism that when triggered could cause the orb to open and show the insight contained within. Luna was perplexed by what he described as a code on the outside. That's getting interesting. In Mexico, specifically among UFO enthusiasts, the meteorologist's bizarre tale quickly went viral, as one might imagine. Following the discovery that the mysterious orb had indeed been taken away by Mexican officials, Luna revealed what may have been the final update on the case the next day. According to him, the powers that be in Mexico are likely to dismiss the entire incident as fake news in the interest of protecting national security, and that the mysterious orb was en route to a destination beyond our borders. Despite experts' skepticism over the theory that the orb was some kind of space junk, for now, the odd object remains a mystery. I'm suspicious of this, said astrophysicist Jonathan McDowell, noting that the ball couldn't have been launched from a Chinese rocket recently. A professor of space engineering, Martin Sween, I'm going to edit that out. Professor of space engineering, Martin, I'm not going to edit that. You're going to hear me mess up, okay? A professor of space engineering, Martin, echoed those sentiments, noting that the sphere appears neither burned nor damaged, which is unexpected for something that has just descended through our atmosphere. What is it? Now I have the Facebook post embedded on the News from Beyond on this news page, and again, this is some interesting stuff, everybody. Like, I'm telling you, there's some weird things happening, and we are so distracted with everything else that's going on that I think even the unknown, unexplainable, odd stuff seems more sane now. And it is just kind of the mundane news while everything else is going on around the world. So I encourage you, please, 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 please go to frightchasers.com, click on News from the Beyond, watch these videos, look at these pictures, and let me know what you think. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Facebook, like us on Instagram. Talk to me. I want to see what you think about these because I have my thoughts and I love discussing with others, as you will see in Unbridled Minds. And this has been News from the Beyond.
Be sure to check out our website at frightchasers.com and call our haunted hotline at 701-HAUNTED. That's 701-428-6833 with your spooky tale. We're dying to hear it. Thank you for listening to the Fright Chasers.